king of German mercenaries.
Chapter 299 Minting Bad Coins. Back in the Queen's backyard, Marlin was in a good mood and played some restricted games with Countess Angela. Although he didn't eat Angela in the end, it also made Marlin full of strength. The next morning, just after Marin had a late breakfast, a guard came in to report to the Count, the Pawnee craftsman you brought back from Milan wants to see you. Pat Honey? The one who made the screw-type oil press. Suddenly, Marin reacted and exclaimed in surprise, "Quick, please invite Mr. Pawnee in." Marin finally reacted. He knew that Pawnee had probably successfully researched the spiral coin-making machine he wanted. Sure enough, Pawnee came over and presented a brand new machine-made coin. The machine-made coin he minted was the Imperial Pfennig. However, the Imperial Pfennig made by Pawnee using a spiral coin-making machine was more exquisite than the ordinary Imperial Pfennig, and the patterns were also more three-dimensional. In short, this counterfeit Imperial Pfennig was more like the Imperial Pfennig than the real Imperial Pfennig. Moreover, according to Pisani's introduction, it is now very simple to make silver coins in his secret workshop. First, the molten metal is prepared and then cast into silver plates. The cast silver plates are thicker than the predetermined thickness, but they can be manually stamped again to the appropriate thickness. After that, the craftsman will use a high-carbon steel pipe with a sharp bottom edge that is ground like a knife edge, and use a hammer to knock a small round silver plate on the silver plate with a sharp bottom circular edge. The silver plate is about the same size as a silver coin. This is the coin blank. Then, after the silver plate is separated into multiple coin blanks, the remaining scraps are recycled to make silver plates and continue to separate coin blanks. This process is very simple and can be done by most workers. Only when pressing the silver plate, skilled craftsmen need to pay special attention and control. The silver plate cannot be made too thick, otherwise it will result in a loss. After getting the coin blank, the general old way is to find a very skilled old craftsman to hammer out the coin pattern by hand and with a simple mold. However, this requires high craftsmanship. The salary of skilled craftsmen is not low, and their coin-making speed is not fast. After all, it takes a long time to hammer a silver coin. After Pawnee and his team came up with the spiral coin-making machine, everything became very simple. First, the craftsman installed a fixed upper and lower mold at the bottom of the spiral coin-making machine. The lower mold was engraved with a mirror image of the pattern on the back of the coin, and the upper mold was engraved with a mirror image of the pattern on the front of the coin. The craftsmen only need to lift the upper mold, put the coin blank into it, and then cover the upper mold. After that, they rotate the spiral pressure rod and press it down hard. After a while, a fine silver coin was successfully made. Of course, the premise of this fineness is that the mold made of high-carbon steel is well engraved. However, after more than a year of research, Pawnee and other craftsmen finally solved the problem of high-carbon steel mold and mold fixation. Then, everything became simple. In the past, because coins were made by hand, experienced craftsmen had to be used to ensure that the coins were not ugly, and it was very time-consuming. But now, with the spiral coin-making machine, experienced craftsmen are not needed at all to make silver coins. Because these things can be done by ordinary apprentices, and only the control of the thickness of the silver plate requires skilled workers. Ordinary workers can do the rest of the process. In this way, there is no need to use those highly paid experienced craftsmen. It's just making a coin. Except for the high requirements for making the mold and controlling the thickness of the silver plate, any other craftsman at the level of migrant workers can do it. Moreover, the manufacturing efficiency of the spiral coin-making machine is very high. Pawnee has tested that a spiral coin-making machine can produce 1,200 silver coins if it works 10 hours a day, 120 silver coins per hour on average, and one coin is pressed in half a minute on average. It takes a silver coin. If he works 10 hours a day, he can make 120 coins. Of course, it is not uncommon for craftsmen in this era to work 15 or 16 hours a day. Even the fastest craftsman needs 3 minutes to make both the front and back of a silver coin. Therefore, the efficiency of the spiral coin-making machine is 10 times that of ordinary craftsmen and 6 times faster than the fastest craftsman. Moreover, for the last link of pressing silver coins, Marin does not need to use high-paid master craftsmen, but can use ordinary workers to complete it. In the entire coin-making process, only the manufacture of coin molds and the control of the thickness of silver plates, as well as the preparation of the molten metal of silver coins before coin-making, require experienced craftsmen. The salary expenses alone can save a lot. Moreover, the coin-making process of the spiral coin-making machine is 10 times happier than that of ordinary craftsmen. Not only that, the silver coins made by the spiral coin-making machine are more exquisite than handmade coins, and the style is more uniform and beautiful. If you just look at the appearance, the counterfeit imperial pfennig pressed by Pawnee and others is more like the real imperial pfennig than the authentic imperial pfennig. Marin was overjoyed and announced a reward for Pawnee and other craftsmen. But before he could be happy for long, someone from Saxony came. It turned out that the Saxons became restless when they saw that the western part of West Frisia was occupied by the former Frisian noble army. However, most of their armed forces were captured by Marin, and they were unable to spare any troops to attack the West Frisian army. In desperation, the Duke of Saxony had to take out 500,000 gold coins to redeem 1,000 knights and 3,500 infantrymen to suppress the resistance of the West Frisian nobles. Marin originally intended to refuse, and he also hoped that Sivag could make the situation in West Frisia more chaotic. However, Emperor Maximilian I sent people to negotiate peace, and Marin had to give face. So, Marin reluctantly let the Duke of Saxony redeem half of the knights and regular infantry. However, when releasing them, Marin sent people to notify the 9 nobles of West Frisia. Marin was very happy to receive 500,000 gold coins. However, when he sent someone to count the money, Marin was not happy. It turns out that the Duke of Saxony mixed a lot of bad coins into the currency. These inferior coins were not minted by the Duchy of Saxony, but by some shameless nobles. The coinage system of the Holy Roman Empire was very chaotic. The emperors of previous generations were all elected. Therefore, in order to win votes, the emperor opened the door to convenience and gave up a lot of coinage rights. Therefore, each of the 7 electors had his own coinage rights. Even many ordinary duchies and counties had their own coinage rights. The only ones who really did not have the right to mint coins were some small principalities that were too weak. Because the right to mint coins was a tool used by the nobles to oppress the people. For example, the most tasteless archbishopric of Trier minted a silver coin that weighed less than 1 gram, which originally weighed 1.5 grams. Not only that, its silver content was only 25%, which was half lower than the imperial pfennig. But in the Archbishop of Trier, the Archbishop of Trier arrogantly demanded that the people must use this inferior Trier pfennig as a full-value pfennig, otherwise they would be punished by law. Of course, this method is only effective in Trier. Outside of Trier, the devil will use Trier finny as a full-value finny. However, building a mint requires a huge investment. Just the minting craftsmen alone cost hundreds or thousands. If a country is very small and has only a few thousand people, if it builds a mint by force, it may not even be able to recover the cost. Moreover, even if the coins are minted, other countries will not recognize them after they leave the country. Therefore, it is not necessary for a small country that is too weak to have the right to mint coins. These countries generally use coins with. Yes, the Saxon pfennig is also a very creditable silver coin in the empire. As the second largest business circle in the Hanseatic League, the Saxon business circle is naturally well developed in trade. As a trading country, the most important thing is of course credibility. Otherwise, no merchants will be willing to do business with a country without credibility. Especially in a country that abuses and issues inferior currency, business will definitely not take off. As regions with developed commerce, both the electorate of Saxony and the Duchy of Saxony uniformly use the Saxon pfennig with a silver content of 50%, the same as the imperial pfennig. Therefore, merchants in Germany also like to use Saxon pfennig as a settlement currency. As for inferior coins such as Trier pfennig, it is not that they are not used, but they are exchanged according to the silver content. For example, the silver content of a Trier pfennig is only about 0.25 grams. And the silver content of an imperial pfennig or Saxon pfennig is as high as about 0.75 grams. Therefore, when exchanging, people basically exchange imperial pfennig and Trier pfennig at a ratio of 1 to 3. After all, there are not many fools in this world. Trier pfennig is just to exploit the poor people of Trier. No one will recognize it outside Trier, or it will be exchanged according to the silver content. In addition to Trier, there were many nobles without good taste in Germany. Although the silver content of the pfennig they minted was not as low as 25%, it was around 30% and 40%, which was lower than the silver content of the imperial pfennig and the Saxon pfennig. This time, when the Duke of Saxony sent the money, he played a trick and mixed some pfennigs that looked similar to Saxony pfennigs but were actually inferior coins minted by other principalities into the ransom and calculated them at the same value as Saxony pfennigs. At the beginning of the handover, Marin's men had too many coins and did not have time to identify them one by one, so they were deceived by the Duke of Saxony's men and completed the handover. Afterwards, Marin could not regret it, but he made a note of it. Since you dare to fool me, don't blame me for minting bad coins for you. Marin said angrily. Then, Marin called Kohler and asked him to go to other vassal states to exchange for more inferior coins. In addition, he went to Bohemia to import a batch of high-purity silver bars. The Kingdom of Bohemia is the place with the highest silver production in the Holy Roman Empire. Therefore, the silver content of Bohemian coins is very high, even higher than that of the imperial pfennig, reaching 60%. Therefore, the most popular silver coin in the empire is actually produced in Bohemia. Austria, controlled by the Habsburg family, was the second largest silver-producing area in the empire. Therefore, the imperial pfennig could be minted with a better quality. However, the Habsburg family had too many people and too many corrupt officials, so the emperor was still very poor even though he owned Austria, which was rich in silver. In this era, in addition to using Bohemian silver coins, people also liked to use Bohemian silver bars made of pure silver as a means of settlement for bulk trade. Many princes also liked to import Bohemian silver bars to mint inferior coins. The Bohemian silver bars that Marin imported this time were naturally used to mint the inferior Saxon pfennig coins. However, when Marin minted the inferior Saxon silver coins, he did not intend to let people see the flaws. It would be best if people took the inferior Saxon silver coins minted by Marin as real coins. In this way, Marin could quietly accumulate a lot of wealth. In order to make it impossible for people to see the flaws, Marin could certainly fake it, but he couldn't let people see it. For example, the silver content of Saxony pfennig is 50%. If Marin wants to adulterate, he must reduce the silver content. However, if the silver content is reduced, it needs to be done well. If copper is mixed in, the density of copper is lower than that of silver. If too much copper is mixed in, the counterfeit coin will definitely be lighter than the genuine coin of the same size. People can tell the difference by weighing the counterfeit coin minted by Marin and the genuine Saxony silver coin on a scale. Therefore, when adding copper, some lead is also needed. This is because the density of lead is higher than that of silver. However, if too much lead is added, it will easily cause the coin to turn black, and it will be obvious that it is a bad coin. Therefore, lead can be added, but not too much. Finally, Marin decided to set the silver content of the counterfeit Saxon silver coins at 40%, 10% less than the genuine Saxon silver coins. The 10% weight was adulterated with a mixture of lead and copper to ensure that the size and weight of the counterfeit coins were the same as those of the genuine coins, and that the difference could not be seen from the outside. The ancients did not have any advanced detection methods. As long as the appearance and density are consistent, who can detect it? Then, Marin arranged for the craftsman to carve the mold of the Saxon pfennig. This time, Marin planned to press 500,000 relatively realistic Saxon pfennig coins to test the waters. Marin roughly calculated that if he reduced the silver content by 10%, he could get about 8% profit, excluding material costs, processing costs and shipping costs. 500,000 pfennigs would make him a profit of about 40,000 pfennigs. Although it was not much, as long as the beginning went well, Marin would continue to do it and make more inferior Saxon pfennigs. Of course, this is just a test. If the effect is good, Marin plans to continue to suppress more Saxon bad money and impact the monetary system and economy of the Saxon region. In this way, he can make huge profits for himself and also hit the Saxons, killing two birds with one stone. Chapter 308 As spring. It is not easy to mint bad coins. First of all, you have to know the silver content of the bad coins as raw materials. If there are many kinds of bad coins, you have to make complex calculations to achieve the same density as the genuine Saxon silver coins. At the same time, the surface of the silver coin cannot be blackened due to the addition of too much lead, which makes people see it as a bad coin at a glance. Marin is now seriously short of mathematicians, and only Ada is good at mathematics. However, Leonardo is now mainly responsible for painting, and Marin does not want Leonardo to know that he has made bad money. Therefore, the final calculation was done by Marin himself. Although Kohler could do calculations, he only knew addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. He did not understand advanced density calculations. After all, Kohler was only a novice who had learned some addition, subtraction, multiplication and division required for business. He did not understand geometric knowledge such as squares and cubes. Therefore, when calculating the density of bad money, Marin personally took action. But after calculating several times, Marin was also tired. After all, he was not an idle person and had many things to do every day. So he ordered to stop buying bad money. It was too difficult to classify and allocate bad money. Therefore, Marin finally decided to use Bohemian pure silver bars directly with copper and lead. As long as the quantity is calculated, the craftsman can directly melt the materials according to the requirements, which is much simpler. Unlike using inferior coins, each time the allocation calculation must be made according to the type and quantity of inferior coins. As for the excess bad coins, Marin not only stopped buying them, but also exchanged all the excess bad coins of other types. Anyway, no matter what kind of bad coins, they always contain silver and have their exchange value. However, in order to prevent others from finding out about him, when purchasing Bohemian silver bars, Marin naturally chose to hire some Jewish merchants to come forward. After all, Jewish merchants have the worst reputation, so let them take the blame. If the truth came out and someone wanted to track down the whereabouts of the Bohemian silver bars, Marin could easily send the Jewish merchants involved to Granada. The local Germans were all landlubbers, so even if they wanted to track them down, they would need a ship to go to America. After the relevant regulations were set, Marin finally had a break and no longer had to go to the coin minting workshop every day to help calculate the density and control the ingredients. The craftsman only had to weigh the silver bars, copper ingots, and lead ingots according to the ratio specified by Marin and put them into the furnace. As for the coin minting process, the craftsmen could handle it well by themselves. After the first batch of Saxon pfennigs were pressed, everyone was surprised to find that they looked more real than real Saxon silver coins. But Marin was not happy. He knew the truth that too much is as bad as too little. Therefore, he asked the craftsman to recarve a batch of coin molds, trying to make them look the same as Saxon silver coins. Then, the counterfeit Saxon coins that were produced were almost the same as the original ones. It was just that the coins pressed by the machine were too neat, so many coins were taken out and they were all exactly the same. Unlike the manually minted ones, there were some differences. However, because the specifications and exquisiteness are exactly the same as the genuine ones, and if you compare the counterfeit coins with the genuine ones, no matter the size, appearance, or weight, they are exactly the same, and even a scale cannot tell the difference. Therefore, after being put into the market, it is actually very popular. The craftsmen all thought Marin's method was amazing, but they didn't know that Marin had only learned a little physics and chemistry in middle school, and knew the density of several major metals. Based on the known density of the metals, is it difficult to adjust the density of the mixture to the same as the Saxon silver coin? Any high school student who is not a poor student in the future can do it. At the same time, in the villa east of Auric that was once used to imprison Julius II, Leonardo da Vinci was doing something very sacred. Lisa, come on, lift your legs higher, spread them wider. Well, that's it. I'm going to start. Lisa Giocondo, the prototype of Mona Lisa, blushed. Don't get the wrong idea, it's not that Leonardo da Vinci was doing something naughty with Mona Lisa, but Leonardo da Vinci was painting an oil painting with Mona Lisa as the model. It's just that today, da Vinci asked Lisa to pose in a rather bold way, so Lisa blushed. After Lisa Giocondo and a group of Italian craftsmen were abandoned and taken to East Frisia, Marin threw her to Leonardo da Vinci and asked Lisa to serve as his model. Moreover, Marin also specially set a question, asking Leonardo da Vinci to paint an oil painting called Mona Lisa's Smile. So, for more than a year, Lisa almost laughed herself to death just by smiling. Because Leonardo da Vinci drew dozens of Mona Lisa's Smile, but Marin rejected them all and asked for a redraw. Because Leonardo da Vinci did not draw the charm of the Mona Lisa's Smile that Marin had seen in his previous life. Of course, these dozens of oil paintings are all fine works. They were all collected by Marin as second-tier famous paintings and protected with glass frames. But what made Marin depressed was that there were no large pieces of glass in that era. To make a glass frame for an oil painting, it actually required 4 pieces of glass to be spliced together. Finally, after painting 88 paintings, Marin stopped Leonardo da Vinci from painting Mona Lisa's Smile. However, Lisa's modeling career was not over yet, and she wanted Leonardo da Vinci to continue painting her. However, Lisa did not reject it. Because she was now the family's source of income. The whole family depended on her to make money as a model. Marin paid her a high salary of 1 shilling a day, which was the treatment of a great craftsman. Moreover, under Marin's instructions, 2 Mongolian doctors also cured Lisa's father's illness. However, old Jiao Kondo can no longer be a painter and can only recuperate at home. Fortunately, his life is no longer in danger. In the days that followed, Marin's requests were all kinds of strange. One moment he asked Leonardo da Vinci to paint the weeping Mona Lisa, and the next moment he asked him to paint the angry Mona Lisa, which made both Leonardo da Vinci and Mona Lisa very upset. The most outrageous thing is that after getting drunk, Marin actually asked Leonardo da Vinci to paint drunken Mona Lisa. It was that time that da Vinci accompanied Lisa to drink, they both got drunk, and then, they had sex. Afterwards, Leonardo da Vinci and Mona Lisa actually got together and became lovers. The main reason was that Leonardo da Vinci's hormones were released normally, and Lisa was very beautiful and admired Leonardo da Vinci's talent. In addition, this kind of thing happened before. So, regardless of the age difference, the two got together. The old bachelor Leonardo da Vinci finally ushered in his own spring. However, the two dare not make their relationship public yet. Because they are afraid that Lisa's parents will not agree. You know, Leonardo da Vinci is a 48-year-old man, and Lisa is only 19 years old. In fact, Leonardo da Vinci is 2 years older than Lisa's father. Da Vinci was very worried. If this matter became public, would old Giocondo come after him with a kitchen knife? Chapter 301 Accomplishment Leonardo da Vinci and Lisa Giocondo were always worried and started dating in secret. Every day, they met in the villa in the east of Auric under the pretext of Marin painting oil paintings. They said they were drawing cartoons, but they were actually flirting most of the time. Finally, da Vinci couldn't stand this kind of cover-up anymore and decided to ask Marin for help. In fact, Marin originally planned to give Leonardo a knighthood. However, Leonardo was originally a courtier of the Duchy of Milan and was kidnapped. Therefore, although Marin rewarded Leonardo with a house and a large amount of money, he did not confer a knighthood on him for the time being. Because the title of nobility must be made public. Before, the Duchy of Milan was a first-class power in the Holy Roman Empire, so it was naturally inconvenient for Marin to make it public. However, now that the Duchy of Milan was destroyed by France and Ludovico Sforza had become the king of a fallen country, Marin could actually reveal Leonardo da Vinci's identity, but he just needed an opportunity. After all, the fact that Leonardo da Vinci designed and manufactured a clockwork flintlock was enough to earn him a knighthood. However, Europeans of this era did not think so. Although Europeans of this era attached much more importance to technology than the Chinese, they were not yet at the stage of ennobling a noble for an invention. Europe during this period was still in the late Middle Ages. Although technology was increasingly valued, it had not yet reached the point where knighthood was awarded for technology. At most, people who invented important technologies were rewarded with money. Only after the rise of religion did science and technology become more and more valued by people, and scientists were knighted for their inventions. For example, Newton in the 17th century was knighted by Queen Anne for his great contributions throughout his life, including his contribution as the director of the Mint. In the years that followed, Britain successively awarded the title of knight to 21 great scientists. Of course, after the 19th century, the title of knight was actually worthless, because by then the common people had risen, and knighthood was more of a title of knowledge and honor. But in the 15th century, knights and knights were very important in society. So even if Marin did not confer knighthood on Leonardo da Vinci did not think there was anything wrong with it. When da Vinci ran to the palace to ask Marin for help, Marin was playing checkers with Angela. After the middle-aged man with a big beard explained the reason, Angela, who was drinking water opposite, sprayed the hot water in her mouth directly on Marin's face. Marin was also confused. I asked you to paint Mona Lisa, but you actually ran away with Mona Lisa? You know, Lisa Giocondo is the daughter of Leonardo da Vinci's friend. If Marin was the old Giocondo, he would definitely be so angry that he would take a kitchen knife and chase after the shameless Leonardo da Vinci. Moreover, Marin actually has some small ideas about the great beauty Mona Lisa. After all, she is a world-class beauty who has been popular for more than 500 years. You know, Lisa Giocondo is not the aunt in the Louvre in France, but a more beautiful British version of Mona Lisa, with fair skin and beautiful appearance. If he had not been busy with foreign wars before, maybe Marin would have taken action on Mona Lisa. Although it is impossible to marry her, it is still possible to keep a mistress. It's not that Lisa Giocondo is too beautiful and fascinated Marin. But, Mona Lisa is a beauty of all ages after all, and it is very fulfilling to be kept by him. Of course, Marin's thoughts were not that strong, he just had a little bit of evil thoughts. Now, the shameless old man da Vinci took the initiative, although Marin felt sorry, he would not really stop him. After all, Ada was a great scientist he valued very much. In order to win over the great god, a beautiful woman was nothing. Facing Marin's stunned expression, Angela on the opposite side felt uncomfortable. Angela had seen Lisa Giocondo before and knew she was a beauty. Before, she had no other opinion of Lisa, she just thought she was a model. However, seeing some regret in Marlin's face, Angela was jealous. As a girl born in an archbishop's family, Angela was not stupid. She knew that it was common for big men to keep several mistresses outside. However, up to now, she and Marin have not yet reached the final step of the breakthrough. Although Marin told her that it was to protect her body, Angela still felt uneasy. This time, seeing Marin treat Lisa, who is 1 year older than her, Jiao Kongduo seemed a little reluctant. So, she was jealous. Originally, Angela also felt that the 48-year-old Leonardo and the 19-year-old Lisa Giocondo were not a good match. However, in order to make Marin give up on Lisa Giocondo, Angela decided to help Leonardo and Lisa. So, honey, their love is so touching, can we help them? Angela said to Marin pitifully. Marin actually had the intention to help Ada, but he couldn't say it all at once. First, he had to create the illusion that this matter is difficult to handle so that Ada would think it was difficult to handle. Then, Marin would solve the matter. In this way, Da Vinci would be very grateful. Thinking of this, Marin first wiped his face that was sprayed with water by Angela, and pretended to be embarrassed. Ada, it's not that I don't want to help you. It's just. Just what? Lord Earl. Ada looked at Marin nervously, his heart beating wildly. Mr. Jiao Kongdo and his family are not serfs under my name. Even if I am a lord, I cannot force them to marry, right? I am a very kind lord. Marin said righteously. This. Da Vinci was also a little speechless. However, he was thinking in his heart, why are you pretending? If you were a good person, would you kidnap me like a robber? My dear, just help them. Look, Mr. Da Vinci has contributed so much to you. Didn't the clockwork flint gun also help you a lot? Angela persuaded. She was eager for Da Vinci to take Lisa away quickly, so that Marin wouldn't miss her. Leonardo da Vinci also came to his senses. Yes, didn't Marin value his scientific talent? If he was willing to make more useful things for him, would Marin be able to lose face? So, Da Vinci gritted his teeth. My Lord Count, if you are willing to help me this time, Da Vinci, am willing to serve you for life and devote myself to researching all useful technologies for you. Marin curled his lips in his heart. It turns out that you, Ada, were fooling me before. In fact, Da Vinci was really fooling Marlin. Although he started to serve Marlin, he still had resentment in his heart. For example, if Da Vinci tried his best and seized the time, he could successfully develop this clockwork flint gun in 2 or 3 months. However, because he was dissatisfied with Marlin's kidnapping, he dragged it out for more than a year before he succeeded in the development. Although he was responsible in the process, it still took too long. You know, this is just a research on a clockwork flint gun. It would be just a toy in the future, and it doesn't take that long. Now, for the sake of love and a happy life in the future, Da Vinci decided that if Marin was willing to help him marry Lisa, he would serve Marin wholeheartedly. My Lord Count, I can swear allegiance. Da Vinci said seriously. The so-called oath of allegiance means kneeling in front of Marin, touching the Bible with your hand, and swearing allegiance to Marin in the name of God. This is the highest allegiance etiquette in Europe. In this era when theocracy is so powerful, this kind of allegiance ceremony generally cannot be revoked, otherwise it will be spurned and despised by all of Europe. Seeing that Da Vinci was so smart, Marin pretended to be embarrassed and said, okay, I can try. By the way, Ada, I have designed a sextant, which is used to measure latitude in navigation, you see. Marin suddenly remembered that he had not yet made a sextant. Although Amerigo was also an astronomer, he could calculate the direction with his naked eyes. However, the error is very large when using the naked eye to estimate. If a sextant is used for measurement, it will be much better. You know, if the latitude of the Earth is wrong for 1 degree, the distance will be more than 100 kilometers. The error of the naked eye is too large, so the sextant is more accurate. In addition, Marin also expressed the desire to develop a more accurate clockwork clock. Da Vinci knew that Marin was giving him a task, so he took on the 2 tasks without hesitation. He knew that as long as he completed the 2 tasks or the first one, Marin would come forward to act as a matchmaker for him. Then, with great creative enthusiasm, Leonardo da Vinci led a group of Italian watchmakers to start the process of developing sextants and spring clocks, nautical clocks. On Marin's side, he also began to send people to Giocondo's house to speak for Leonardo da Vinci without leaving any trace, paving the way for Marin's final appearance. In fact, many times, it was Angela who personally came out to speak well of Leonardo da Vinci. The couple planned to act as matchmakers together to help Leonardo da Vinci and Mona Lisa.